Let's get cracking. So for those who don't know you, and that might not be very many people within this space, could you introduce yourself and what your role is within the community?
Sure. So my name is Jordi. I am 22 years old. I am better known as MojoOnPC on the internet. I am a content creator, influencer, whatever you want to call me, entrepreneur. Also have a few companies in the gaming industry. Yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. But what I am, what I really am, is a young guy that loves to, make videos, make other people laugh, and is here to help other people as well, because I've had my fair share of issues, especially with mental health. And that's why I'm very glad that there are organizations like Gamers versus Depression around here to help gamers battle depression.
So how did you get into this space? Like, tell us about how you became Mojo.
Oh, how I became Mojo. It started when I was 4 years old and I was on the lap of my brother playing video games. My brother was a professional Call of Duty 2 player under the name of Tech9 Davey. Also managed to win the world championships back in, that was like 12 years ago when esports just started. After that, watched a bunch of YouTube videos growing up when I was like 12 years old, 11 years old. I was like, damn, okay, this is really fun. I want to give it a try as well. And then combined, the things that I loved through my brother, gaming, with entertaining people on the internet, because I was inspired by people like KSI and diverse Sidemen, and that's how I started making videos about gaming, and I'm mixing it with comedy. Nobody else was really making comedy videos at that point, so kind of like a hole in the market, sort of say, or a gap in the market. And I filled that hole up and managed to, amass quite a lot of followers.
Yes. How did you so you come from a gaming background, you've got these role models around you, like bringing you into the community. Like, how did that help? Like, are you still close with your brother? Like, did he help?
Yeah, he helped. He helped until one point. I was 16 and I had to hire him part time to work together. Not for me, together. One big point. Working with family, it's a hard one. It's a very tricky one. But no, he helped me a lot with giving me perspective on how to handle certain topics and trying to just kind of babysit me in different ways, and just also having a lot of fun. And now I'm very happy to say that, my brother has a kid of his own. He's 4 years old. And now how I was sitting on the lap of my brother playing video games, now Dan is his name, of my godchild, of his son, is sitting on my lap, also playing video games, and it kind of transcended the generation, which is just, it just puts a smile on my face. It's unbelievable.
Nice. Yeah. So at some point we'll have to look out. The next generation's coming through.
Yo, and he's good. This is fantastic. He's an entertainer and he's very good at video games. He will be a hybrid between myself and my brother. Watch out for him. Down on PC. Nice. That's his gamer tag. Down on PC.
That's amazing. Okay, so you kind of alluded to how gaming's influenced your mental health, or you said you had some mental health issues. So how does gaming help or hinder, or what does gaming do for you in terms of mental health?
I'm going to be very honest. At the moment, I live in Spain. I don't know a lot of people here. I have one friend that lives close here, but most of my friends that I formed anyways when I was growing up, the people that I was really close to, were people that I met through gaming. Yep. Those people I'm still in touch with to this day. The people and the quote-unquote friends, in my town, I'm not really in touch with them anymore today. And also one of the reasons is because they're not PC gamers. They play on the PlayStation, they play on the Xbox. We're on different platforms. I'm assuming if we would play on a PlayStation or Xbox together, we would still be in touch. But I'm just mostly in touch with my PC gamer friends, and how it helps me with mental health. I mean, just being able to talk about stuff, man. If you're home alone for a long period of time, you start talking to Siri, you start talking to Google Home, you're literally losing it. But if you can hop in a game and talk to your friends, that's very valuable. It is very, very valuable, and it's a must. It's a must. If I wouldn't have that, then I don't want to think about that. No, I don't want to think about that.
I think it's like the world's changed over the last 20, 30 years. I think people do move around more. People, even within their own countries. So, me personally, I've lived in like 4 or 5 different cities around the UK, just because people study and you travel, you take different jobs, and you just kind of move around. And actually, having access to something like gaming, some kind of unifying aspect that anyone can just jump on. You can jump on with your friends. Doesn't matter if you're in the same town anymore because of the way technology is. Like, I'm old enough to remember when we used to have to connect up laptops with a LAN cable to be able to play together. But nowadays, obviously, it's much easier. So it's an amazing resource, really. And so, how do you think gaming is viewed by not necessarily by those within the community? Because obviously, I think we had a discussion beforehand where you think where you said that gamers understand the benefit, but those people that aren't involved in gaming, those kinds of parents and maybe the grandparents of current gamers, like, how do you think they view gaming?
I mean, different generations have different opinions, and within those generations, there are also different perspectives, as everybody is different. There is a stigma that gaming is not bad for you, or that you shouldn't spend a lot of you shouldn't spend hours in front of your PC. Where I do understand that with anything in life, you need to take things into moderation and not commit to anything in life and have a good balance. But I think what some older generations are struggling to understand is that, when back in the day where they went outside and they played with their neighborhood kids, this is what we can do now, but through games. But we're not limited to our neighborhood kids anymore. No. We can play with Ying from China. We can play with Eric from Vancouver. We can play with Daniel from Venezuela. We can play with so many different people at the same time, learn from all these cultures, and really develop ourselves as a human being that is far more enriched in different values from different cultures if we were just to stick between our own neighborhoods, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So
we're not limited by the games we can play either. So, like, but based on what you're describing, like, again, when I was a kid, it used to be like a game called Kirby in the UK. I'm sure there's a Spanish equivalent or other equivalent of standing on each side of the road and trying to hit the other person's curb and get the ball to bounce back. Is that
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, you say that to young people, and they're like, "Why would I do that? I can go and be anything I want to be. Why am I standing on a road?"
I can fly around in a jet while I go on the ground and I have a tank, and there's so many different things that you can do.
Exactly, it's just a different world, and just got to embrace it. So one of the things you mentioned there was about like balance. So what does a typical day look like for you?
I try to take on many different things and try to be become and be a very smart businessman that works very hard, at the same time entertain people, through video form, through music form, then also try to be in good shape and also try to be a good, like lover. I have a girlfriend for 3 years and I want to establish like a very good relationship also with her, where I'm supporting her. So a typical day for me looks like waking up, doing some kind of exercise, coming back home, making 3 eggs, 2 toasts, some avocado, hop in the shower, come back, water my plants, meditate, do my most important task of the day, hop in the meeting with all of the people that are close in my circle to make decisions. These are people in close in my circle, I mean business partners, right? So to make certain decisions on hard topics and to help out where needed. And then we're kind of like around, like just either 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and then I try to put on my creativity hat and I start creating content and, writing scripts, filming something, making a song, and just trying to unleash like the inner creator that's inside of me ever since I was a kid. And that I want to explore and, continue to develop until this day. And within creating of content, obviously gaming is also a very big aspect, because I love gaming and I love creating content around games and kind of relating to certain people that play specific games and kind of like not really mocking them, but like just making relevant jokes to whatever's happening to the community at that moment, to have some kind of like relevancy to the people that are playing these games. I hope that's an answer. And then after that, you know, I like to take a bath nowadays, so I like relax a little bit and then sleep. And before that, maybe read a little bit. I try to read more.
It sounds like a good balance.
Yeah.
So you're getting your exercise, you're eating well. Sounds like you're getting maybe some sleep, maybe sleep. Didn't sound like it was huge on that list, but it sounds like you've got an idea around.
It is important.
Yeah, exactly. But it sounds like you generally understand the things that you need to do in order to look after your mental health and well-being fundamentally. So that's great. I'm
going to be very honest. I only understand that after, you know, failing on all those aspects. So it's been a process of trial and error, of not having any balance and overcommitting on that to trying to achieve balance in every single day. And I think this is the one of the most difficult things in life to do, to try to achieve that balance on a consistent basis. But I really do believe that once you have balance in the different aspects, that is what exponentially increases your chances at living a happy life.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully successful as well, because, you know, so my background's in performance psychology. I work mainly in sport, but it's performance, and people often think you got to like grind it out fundamentally. But all you're doing half the time is grinding yourself into the ground, and you're not actually doing your best work. So it sounds like you've found that bit of balance, and it sounds like it's reaping rewards both mentally and in terms of other aspects of your life. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, trying to understanding your peak hours is a good one. You know, trying to understand like what hours of the day that you're very productive in, and just trying to maximize those hours and not compromise on those hours.
Absolutely.
So, but you have to have a very good understanding of yourself.
Yeah, it takes time, right? It's not easy.
Yeah, and for the people that are watching this, you know, don't be afraid if everything is all over the place. Like for me also, sometimes everything is still all over the place, and you know, we try to just keep moving forward. There's only one thing that we can do. If something bad happens, there's always two situations or two choices you can make. You can either decide to, and without sounding rude, but go into a corner and cry and nothing happens, or you can decide to accept what happened and just make the best out of it. We can't control our thoughts, we can't control our emotions. The only thing that we can control is our behavior in the present. There's no such thing as a past, there's no such thing as a future. The only thing that is real is now, this moment between me and John right now, or the moment that you're watching this piece of content. This, in my opinion, is the only thing that is real.
That's interesting. It's a really interesting perspective. It's very mindful, a very mindful perspective. So obviously we're talking to you because of your experience as a gamer and as an influencer and all these kinds of things. So how do you think gaming can be used as a tool to enhance people's mental health and well-being? I think there's lots of kind of criticism around gaming, right? We've already talked about people that don't get that balance right and how it can negatively affect. So what do you think can be done to use gaming as a more effective tool to support people in their mental health?
Regular gaming nights, for example, with your friends, maybe like tournaments, like every Friday night, like, you know, you meet up, how you meet up with your friends in the pub, for example, maybe not on Fridays, but on like Wednesday evenings, you know, you come together with your favorite group of friends and you play games either together or you start competing with your friends in little tournaments. That would be a way to improve mental health, in my opinion, to kind of like have that social aspect to it. And
I think one of the key things from that perspective then is this kind of the social aspect, right? So you're really, the gaming is really just a tool from what you're describing. It's like, it's just an excuse to get together with friends fundamentally, and that's the most important thing. So that's great. Okay, I'm conscious of taking up too much of your time. That'll do for me. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, John.
Hopefully keep doing what you're doing. It all sounds like it's going great.